Good morning. My name is Janet. Welcome to Yoga Basics. This is a half-hour class that we will work on basic yoga movements and breathing practices so you can get started for your practice. I'm so happy that we can be here today. Let's get going. We're going to start with some mindful breathing. We'll take 5 deep breaths. When we do our breathing practice, breathe into the front of your chest. Breathe into the side ribs and breathe into your back. This will feel like a full expansion of the rib cage. Let's take 5 breaths together. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Breathe through the front of your chest. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Last one. Breathe deeply in your whole rib cage. Breathing in and out. That was great. Let's do a few movements to wake up our body. Start by stretching your neck, bringing your head over to your shoulder. Let's do each side 2 times. We just want to get our body moving, get all the basic movements happening. So when we get to our yoga postures, our body will be supple and ready to go. Shoulder check over your right shoulder, and left, and right, and left. Back to the center, look down to your chest. If you'd like extra sensation, you could lace your hands and gently pull down on your head. And look up to the ceiling. Look down. And look up. Excellent. Shoulder circles, big ones. Rolling backwards. And rolling forwards. Lift your right arm up and reach to the side. Notice that I'm keeping my torso long and straight, not rolling down too much, not yet. And let's do the other side. Reach up and over. Long side, reach through your fingers. Let's do that one more time. Reach up and over. And over to the other side. There you go. Oh, that one feels so good. Okay, hands on your knees. You're gonna round your back and look towards your belly button. Rounding your back. Now pull on your knees, roll your shoulders back, and arch the spine. Look to your ceiling. And again, round your back, up to the navel. Pull on the knees, arch the back, look up. That's a great start. Take your left hand onto your right knee. Right hand is behind you on the fingertips. Sit up tall, turn and look to your right. Now, as you're moving through your warm-up postures, make sure you keep taking those full deep breaths as much as you're ready for. Right hand on the knee, left hand behind you. Sit up tall, look, stretch over to your left. Really shoulder check as far as you feel ready for today. That feels so great. Let's move on to our legs. So you're gonna have your hands behind you. And you're gonna bend your knees halfway. Spread your feet hip distance apart and tilt both of your legs over to one side. From the front, it's gonna look like this. So both of your legs are at about 90 degrees. Lift up and switch sides. I feel this a lot in my hips. Where do you feel this in your body? Let's do the first side again. And one more time, other side. Oh, you're getting so close. Let's do your ankles. Point and flex. Big circles, drawing huge circles with your toes, and then the other way. That's great. Let's move on to our hands. You're gonna put your hands together, lace your fingers nice and tight, and press your palms out to the front. Really reach through those fingertips and then bring them back. Lean over to one side and lean your hands over to the other side. Maybe do circles. Can you do circles the other way? That way's way harder for me. And let's come up to all four position. You're gonna go on your hands and your knees. You're gonna rock forward and back, warm up your wrists. Now I've got strong arms here, but my elbows aren't locked. You can see there's a little bit of bend in there. The knees are apart. Just getting some nice gentle rocks in there. And then you might turn one hand around, and you might turn the other hand around. If you'd like to add more intensity, when you lean back, you might even peel the palms of your hands up a little bit. Yeah, that feels great. And you're gonna turn your hands toward the center. Just rock side to side. Maybe do some figure eights in there. Excellent. My body feels ready to go. Does your body feel ready to go? Today we're going to do yoga postures, all from seated and kneeling. We're going to start today in all fours position. This is when you're on your hands and your knees. You want your hands about shoulder distance apart so they're underneath your shoulders. And your knees are going to be hip distance or maybe a little bit wider. Remember, these are just options and guidelines. You're welcome to move your body how you feel is appropriate for you. If wider feels good one day, go wider. If narrower feels good, go narrower. It's okay. Now from your comfortable all fours position, let's just check in here. So your hands are under your shoulders, your knees are under your hips, and we're checking with our ribs. So you can see here that my back is kind of arched. So I'm gonna lift up on my rib cage, just enough that I can feel a little bit of effort in through my belly and that my ribs are supported and strong. Now if you feel the opposite, if you feel like your shoulders are really tight, and you're rounding your upper back, then you might bring your rib cage down a little bit. This is called our all fours position. Now you might do a little bit of rocking back and forth just to find what feels level here. We're going to start with some cats and cows. I like to start with cats because I love cats the best. You're going to look up to the ceiling, let your rib cage drop down toward the floor, and lift your bottom up toward the ceiling. Take a couple of breaths here. In and out through the nose. And then we'll try a cow. Round your back, look towards your belly. Really lean into any of those areas that might be tight. Good, let's try cat again. Arching the back, drop your ribs, lift your tail, look up to the ceiling. And cow, curling the spine, look towards your navel. Excellent. The next posture we're going to do is called child's pose. This is a resting pose that you can always take if you feel like your breathing is getting too strong, or if you're feeling maybe unsettled or uncomfortable with the posture, if something doesn't feel right, if you just need a break. Child's pose is for all of those reasons. So you're going to have your knees hip distance apart, and the feet can be apart as well. You sit back on your heels, lean forward so your chest is over top of your knees, and reach the hands out in front of you. You might put your head down on the ground, or it might not reach. It's okay. The hands are overhead, and you're stretching out the hands. They're shoulder distance apart. And you'll take some deep breaths here in child's pose. Let's take 3 deep breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Back up to all 4. Let's do 2 more cats and cows. Starting with cats, arch the back, look up to your ceiling. And cows, round the back. One more time, arch your spine, drop your ribs and lift the tail. And a cow, round your back. And down into child's pose. 3 breaths here. Your head might go to the floor, your hands are reaching up. If reaching up doesn't feel good for any reason, you can have your hands down by your feet. 3 deep breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Let's come back up to all fours. And from here, we're going to explore downward dog position. For downward dog, you're going to turn your toes under. Lift your knees up off the ground, and then slowly reach the hips up toward the ceiling, working to move your weight back. In the beginning, your knees might be quite bent and your heels might be quite high. We're looking to make a nice long line through the arms and reach out through your bottom. If straight legs is accessible to you, you might straighten the legs. You might walk your feet out, slowly warming up the calves. Let's stay here for one more big breath, and then back down to child's pose. Knees to the floor, sit back on your heels, head to the ground. 3 breaths. 1, 2, 3. Let's come up to downward dog again. So you start in all 4, turn your toes under, lift your knees off the ground, reach back. Now, if you feel like your upper back is quite round and it's very heavy on your arms, bend your knees more and reach further back with your bottom. This is a great starting position. Again, you can always walk out your feet. You can round your back and do cat-cows like we did from all 4. You might even sway your hips from side to side. Good stuff. Let's come back down to kneeling. The next thing we're going to work on is a modified sun salutation from our knees. So you might want to watch the first one, and then on the second one, I'll break it down and we can do it slowly together. I'm going to start up towards the top of my space. From kneeling, you're going to lift up your bottom, hands by your side. Inhale to reach up, and exhale to fold forward into all fours position. Inhale, look up. Exhale, and back down. Couple of breaths in downward dog. And then back forward to my knees. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, reach up, and exhale. Let's do that again together. So starting on your knees, if it's not super comfortable for you to be kneeling on the floor, you're welcome to put a pillow under your knees, a folded up blanket works really well, or if you have yoga blocks, that's another great thing to put under there to give a little extra cushion. So let's do our modified sun salutation again together. From kneeling, inhale, reach up. Exhale, place your hands on the floor. Inhale, arch your back, look up to the ceiling. Exhale, round your back, and back down to child's pose. Now the option here is to take child's pose. If you felt good in downward dog, you can also take a downward dog. Turn your toes under and reach back here. We'll hold for 5 big breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Look forward to your hands. Come back to your knees. Inhale, up, exhale, round, up to your knees. Inhale, reach up your hands, and exhale back to kneeling. Let's do one more of those. Really warm up your body and connect to the feeling of the breathing in your body. The breathing is really important. It helps you to feel calm and relaxed. It also helps you to connect deeply to the actions in your body. Let's do our kneeling sun salutation one more time. From kneeling, inhale, reach up, and exhale down to all 4. Inhale, arch the back. Exhale, round your back. And then you have two options, down to child's pose or back to downward dog for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Put your knees on the floor. Inhale, arch your back, lift your tail. Exhale, round your back. Come up to your kneeling position. Inhale, reach up your hands, and exhale. Those are great. That's a modified sun salutation done from a kneeling position. And it's a nice, easy, simple introduction to sun salutations. Let's move on with a few seated postures. We're going to start with staff pose. This is where your legs are straight out in front of you. Now, if it doesn't feel comfortable for your legs to be straight on the ground, you can always have a little bend in the knees, but you can also have a block and slide it under your knees for extra support. So the block would just go under the knees if that doesn't feel right for your body. Another option is to use your block or folded blanket, and you can sit up on top of it. If you find that sitting on the ground is quite hard for your spine and you're in a very rounded or collapsed position, sitting on a block helps to tip the pelvis upright and give you more room to breathe. In staff pose, you're going to have your legs as straight as possible for you and your hands down toward the floor. Now, because I'm sitting up on a block, I'm going to use my fingertips to connect to the ground here. My legs are strong and straight. The feet are lifting up to the ceiling. I'm squeezing the legs, engaging all of those muscles, broadening the chest, and gently pressing into the ground. Now, there's a lot of different ideas of how long to hold a yoga posture to get the most benefit out of it. In the beginning, I think it's great to hold a posture for about 3 breaths. Let's do 3 in staff pose. 1, 2, and 3. From here, we'll move into a forward bend. Keep your legs strong and straight. Reach up to the ceiling, and then fold forward. Your hands might come to your knees, they might come to your feet, or they might come to the floor beside you. These are all great options. Rounding the back if that feels nourishing for your body, or moving with a flat back if that feels nourishing for your body. Again, we're going to hold this forward folded position for 3 breaths. 1, 2, breathe deeply, and 3. Slowly work your way out of your forward fold. I'm going to take my block out for this next posture, and we're going to do a chest opener. So with your legs straight out in front of you, if straight doesn't feel great, again, you can always bend the knees. The hands will reach back a foot or so with the fingers pointing forward towards your feet. You're going to press into your hands, and you will open the chest by taking a deep breath in, roll your shoulders back, and then you lift up through the chest and look toward the ceiling. This is an option for a reverse plank pose. Let's do 3 breaths here. 1, 2, and 3. Slowly release, bringing the ribs back down. Release your hands and give them a little shake. Give the legs a little shake. We'll move into head to knee pose. Bend your right leg and bring it in to touch the left leg. I'm sitting at about a 90-degree angle here, but it doesn't matter overly much. Your body might be most comfortable with your foot against the calf, maybe the knee, or maybe all the way up. They're all good positions. Pick what feels nourishing for you today. Now, as soon as I bring that leg in, you might see that your torso is facing off towards an angle. So to practice head to knee pose, we're going to inhale, sit up nice and tall, turn the rib cage over top of that extended leg, and then slowly fold forward. You might have Fingertips on the floor, you might catch the foot or leg. These are all good options. 3 deep breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Slowly back up to seated, and let's do the other side. The left leg comes in. Notice facing off to an angle with the torso. So inhale, sit up nice and tall. Turn the shoulders and rib cage over top of that extended leg, and then exhale to lean forward. 1, 2. If you feel ready to go a little bit further in your forward fold, feel welcome to move your hands and go deeper. And that's 3 breaths. Come back up to your seated position. Release the legs and give them a little shake. We're going to take a twist next. You're going to bend up your right leg and step it over top of your left leg. I'm going to show this to you from the front, and then I'll also show it to you from the side, so that if it doesn't quite make sense, you'll have another way to picture it in your mind. So this is my right leg stepped over the left. My left arm comes to hug my right leg, and I'm going to squeeze it in towards my chest. The right hand is behind me, setting up nice and tall with the arm. And then as you breathe, you turn and look over your back shoulder. I'll show this to you from the side as well. Left leg is straight, right foot steps over, hug the bent knee, right hand behind you. Take a deep breath in, and then as you breathe out, turn and look over that back hand. Let's stay for 3 breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Look ahead and then slowly come out of the twist. Let's do the other side. I'll do the same thing, doing it from the front and the side so you can see where we're going. The right leg is straight. Bend your left knee. Step your left foot over top of the right leg. The right arm comes and wraps around that left knee, giving it a hug. Left hand is behind you. Inhale to sit up tall. As you exhale, turn and look over your left shoulder. Give that nice hug into the leg here. From the side, right leg is straight, left foot steps over, hug the leg, sit up tall, turn and look. 3 breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Look ahead and release your twist. Give the legs a little bit of a shake. The next posture we will do is called diamond pose. You're going to open your knees and bend them to the side. You'll notice that there's quite a bit of space between the feet and the pelvis, and this is intentional. Keeping the feet nice and wide, hands maybe on your knees, maybe shins, maybe ankles. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale to fold forward. You might use your elbows to press down on your legs if that feels nice for your hips and your lower back. Let's take 3 breaths here in diamond pose. 1, 2, and 3. Slowly come back up to seated. Lift the legs, bring them together, and come back to your comfortable cross-leg position. Thank you for joining me in our 30-minute beginner yoga class today. My name is Janet. If you like the class that we had today, please like this video and subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Otherwise, have a beautiful day. I look forward to seeing you next time. Goodbye.